47.2%. That's the number burning a hole through Jerry Jeudy's reputation in Cleveland. Not his speed, not his route running, not the $78 million the Browns owe him over 4 more years. Just that one devastating statistic, 47.2% catch rate in 2025, the worst among all NFL receivers with at least 50 targets, worse than rookies, worse than backups, worse than practice squad players who got emergency call-ups. And when Todd Monken walked into his first press conference as Browns head coach Wednesday afternoon and was asked point-blank if Jerry Jeudy would be part of his offense in 2026, the 60-year-old first-time NFL head coach didn't commit, he didn't promise, he didn't even hint at keeping him. Instead, sources say Monken made it crystal clear behind closed doors that Cleveland's wide receiver room needs a complete refresh, according to Yahoo Sports. And now, Jerry Jeudy, the 29-year-old receiver who signed a 3-year, $52.5 million extension just 18 months ago, is watching mock drafts project the Browns to draft not 1, but 2 wide receivers in the first 2 rounds. USC's Makai Lemon at pick 6, Indiana's Sarratt at pick 39, both replacements for a receiver who cost Cleveland a 3rd-round pick and a massive contract, but delivered the worst catch rate in football. And the NFL world is watching this drama explode in real time because Jerry Jeudy's future in Cleveland just went from guaranteed to completely uncertain, and Todd Monken refuses to back down from blowing it all up. Hit that subscribe button right now because this story is about to expose the most brutal receiver situation in the NFL. This isn't just about Jerry Jeudy underperforming. This is about Todd Monken walking into Cleveland and immediately identifying the biggest problem on offense, refusing to commit to anyone despite massive contracts, and potentially drafting Jerry Jeudy's replacement at pick 6 overall. Let's start with the stat that's destroying Jerry Jeudy's Cleveland career. 47.2% catch rate. According to multiple mock draft analysts and NFL beat writers, Jeudy caught fewer than half of the passes thrown his way in 2025. Think about what that means. Every time Baker Mayfield, or whoever Cleveland's quarterback was, targeted Jeudy, it was basically a coin flip whether he'd catch it. Not whether he'd make a play, not whether he'd gain yards after catch, just whether he'd hold on to the football. And more than half the time, he didn't. That's not a bad season. That's a disaster. That's the kind of performance that gets receivers benched, cut, or traded, regardless of how much money they're owed. And the context makes it worse. Jerry Jeudy was supposed to be Cleveland's #1 receiver. The Browns traded a 3rd-round pick to the Denver Broncos in March 2024 to acquire him. Then they immediately signed him to a 3-year, $52.5 million extension. That's massive money for a receiver who had been inconsistent in Denver, but showed flashes of brilliance. And the Browns bet that in their system, with their quarterback, Jeudy would break out. Instead, he broke down. He led the team in targets but couldn't convert them into catches. He dropped passes. He ran sloppy routes. He disappeared in big moments. And by the end of the season, fans were begging Andrew Berry to cut him despite the massive cap hit it would create. Todd Monken walked into this mess and immediately recognized the problem. According to Yahoo Sports' analysis of the Browns' off-season needs, wide receiver has been a bugaboo position for Andrew Berry in his GM tenure with the Browns. There have been a ton of draft misses betting on speed, while the trade plus extension for Jerry Jeudy has led to an underwhelming 1.41 yards per route run in his time with the Browns. 1.41 yards per route run. That's pathetic. That's backup-level production from a receiver making elite money. And Monken, who just spent 3 years in Baltimore building one of the most explosive offenses in football, knows he cannot win with that kind of inefficiency. Multiple mock drafts released this week have the Browns addressing wide receiver early and often. A to Z Sports mocked USC's Makai Lemon to Cleveland at pick 6 overall. Lemon was the Bolitnikoff Award winner after a standout season at USC and may be the best wide receiver talent in the draft, the mock explained. Lemon could be used in a multitude of ways by Monken to bring a whole lot of new to a team that needs it. Then, at pick 39 in the 2nd round, they have Cleveland doubling up on receivers by taking Washington's Denzel Boston. Doubling up on wide receiver should be in the cards for the Browns. Outside of Jerry Jeudy, there just isn't much proven in the wide receiver room. Read that line again. Outside of Jerry Jeudy, there isn't much proven. But here's the devastating follow-up. Jerry Jeudy isn't proven either. Not in Cleveland, not with a 47.2% catch rate.
The Athletics mock draft went even harder. They have the Browns taking Utah offensive tackle Spencer Fano at pick 6, then doubling up on wide receivers in the second round. First, Washington's Denzel Boston at pick 24, then Indiana's Elijah Sarratt at pick 39. Sarratt was one of Mendoza's top targets during the Hoosiers championship run, they wrote. The talented receiver has good size, 6'3", 213 pounds, and executes well out of his breaks. But his greatest strength is his hands. His hands. The thing Jerry Jeudy doesn't have. Sarratt caught 66 passes for 830 yards and 15 touchdowns in 2025 at Indiana. That's elite college production, and Cleveland is projected to take him specifically because they need someone who can catch the damn football. NFL Spin Zone's mock has Cleveland going offensive line at 6, with Miami's Francis Matiegoa, then taking USC's Makai Lemon in the second round. And he would provide a much-needed joke to a Browns receiver room which was horrendous this past season. The leader in targets was Jerry Jeudy, who had such a disappointing year, catching just 47.2% of his targets, that his future with the team is in question. There it is again. Future in question. Every single mock draft mentions it. Jerry Jeudy's future with the Browns is uncertain despite being under contract through 2029 with over $70 million owed. That's not speculation, that's reality. And Todd Monken refuses to save him. When Monken was asked during his introductory press conference about the wide receiver situation, he reportedly did not commit to anyone. Not Jeudy, not Harold Fannin Jr., the rookie tight end who showed flashes, not anyone. Instead, sources say Monken made it clear internally that Cleveland needs a complete refresh of the receiver room, according to Yahoo Sports offseason preview. A complete refresh means everyone is on the table. Everyone can be replaced. And if you're Jerry Jeudy, that's terrifying, because you just posted the worst catch rate in football, and your new head coach is publicly saying he needs better. The contract makes cutting Jeudy complicated, but not impossible. He's owed $17.5 million in 2026, $15 million in 2027, and $16 million in 2028. Cutting him before June 1st would create a $29 million dead cap hit in 2026. That's brutal. But cutting him after June 1st splits the dead money over 2 years, making it slightly more manageable. The Browns could also trade him, but who's taking on that contract after watching him catch 47% of his targets? Maybe a desperate team gives Cleveland a 6th or 7th round pick just to take a flyer, but that's best case scenario. More likely, Jeudy is stuck in Cleveland as a backup making starter money while rookies take his job. And that's exactly what Todd Monken is planning. By drafting Makai Lemon or Denzel Boston or Elijah Sarratt, Monken creates competition. He forces Jeudy to prove he deserves the starting job. And if Jeudy can't beat out rookies in training camp, he gets benched. It's that simple. Monken didn't come to Cleveland to babysit underperforming veterans. He came to build an offense that can score points. And if that means benching a receiver making $17 million, so be it. The comparison to Baltimore is instructive. When Monken was the Ravens' offensive coordinator, he had elite receivers like Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. Flowers caught 74 passes for 1,004 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2025. Bateman caught 51 for 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. Combined, they posted over 70% catch rates. That's the standard Monken expects, and Jerry Jeudy's 47.2% is embarrassingly far from that. If Monken had a receiver in Baltimore perform like Jeudy did in Cleveland, that receiver would have been benched by week 6. But in Cleveland, Jeudy kept getting targets because there was nobody else. And that's exactly why Monken is drafting replacements. The Browns' offense was historically bad in 2025. They ranked 31st in scoring at just 15.8 points per game. Only the New York Giants were worse. And Jerry Jeudy, as the leader in targets, there's significant responsibility for that failure. Yes, the quarterback play was terrible. Yes, the offensive line was decimated. Yes, the play calling was predictable. But Jeudy still has to catch the football, and he didn't, not even half the time. And now Todd Monken, who built the #1 offense in football in Baltimore in 2024, is tasked with fixing this disaster. And his solution is clear: draft new receivers, create competition, force Jerry Jeudy to earn his job or lose it. Andrew Berry tried to defend the Jeudy acquisition in his end-of-season press conference. "We believed Jerry could be a difference maker in our offense," Berry said. "It didn't work out the way we hoped this past season, but we still believe in his talent." But that's corporate speak. Berry knows the trade was a disaster. He gave up a third-round pick and $52 million for a receiver who posted the worst catch rate in football. And now Berry, who kept his job when Kevin Stefanski got fired, has to figure out how to fix it. The easiest solution? Draft Jerry Jeudy's replacement and pretend the whole thing never happened. But Jerry Jeudy's side of this story matters too, because while the stats are brutal, context exists. Cleveland's quarterback situation was a complete disaster. Joe Flacco started early, then Dylan Gabriel took over and struggled, then Shedeur Sanders came in and posted historically bad EPA metrics. None of them could consistently deliver accurate passes. None of them had time in the pocket because the offensive line was terrible. And Jeudy, running routes against NFL cornerbacks, was expected to make contested catches on poorly thrown balls. That's not an excuse. Elite receivers make those catches anyway, but it's worth noting that Jeudy was set up to fail. And Jeudy has had success before. In Denver, he caught 90 passes for over 1,000 yards in 2022. He showed he could be a legitimate #1 receiver when given opportunities. But in Cleveland, the opportunities came with terrible execution around him, and his performance cratered. Now the question is whether Todd Monken's system can revive him. Monken's offense emphasizes play action, motion, and misdirection. It creates easier throws for quarterbacks and easier catches for receivers. If anyone can unlock Jerry Jeudy's potential, it's Monken. But based on the mock drafts, Monken isn't betting on it. He's hedging by drafting replacements. The drama exploded Wednesday when ESPN Cleveland tweeted a graphic showing the Browns projected to take Makai Lemon at pick 6. Fans erupted. "Finally, Jerry Jeudy's replacement," one fan wrote. "About time Andrew Berry admits the trade was a disaster," another said. But some fans defended Jeudy. "Give him a real quarterback first before you draft his replacement," someone argued. The fan base is split. Half want Jeudy gone immediately. Half think he deserves another chance with better support around him. And Todd Monken is caught in the middle, trying to build an offense that can win games while managing egos and contracts. The Browns have 2 first-round picks, 6 and 24. They also have a second-round pick at 39. That's 3 picks in the top 40. Monken could use all 3 on offensive line and wide receiver and completely rebuild the offense in one draft. Imagine drafting Utah tackle Caleb Lomu at 6, USC receiver Makai Lemon at 24, and Indiana receiver Elijah Sarratt at 39. That's 2 new starting receivers and a franchise left tackle. Jerry Jeudy goes from #1 option to 3rd or 4th receiver overnight. His targets disappear, his playing time shrinks, and by training camp 2027, he's fighting for a roster spot. That's the nightmare scenario for a receiver making $17 million a year. But it's also the smartest move for Cleveland, because Todd Monken cannot win with a 47% catch rate receiver. He cannot build a functional offense when his #1 target drops more balls than he catches, and he refuses to back down from making the tough decision, even if it means benching a receiver with a massive contract, even if it means admitting Andrew Berry made a catastrophic trade, even if it means dealing with Jerry Jeudy's agent and the media circus that comes with benching a highly paid veteran. Monken doesn't care. He's 60 years old. This is his first and likely only NFL head coaching job. He's not wasting it trying to fix a broken receiver who's already proven he can't perform. Jerry Jeudy's future in Cleveland erupted into question the moment Todd Monken was hired, and every mock draft, every analyst, every beat writer is saying the same thing. The Browns are drafting receivers early, multiple receivers, and Jerry Jeudy's days as the #1 option are over.
Whether he accepts a reduced role, gets traded, or gets cut outright remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Todd Monken refuses to commit to him. And in the NFL, when your head coach won't commit to you, your career is already over. You just don't know it yet. This story is based on reports from Yahoo Sports, A to Z Sports, NFL Spin Zone, The Athletic, Dogs by Nature, and various outlets covering Jerry Jeudy's future, Todd Monken's offensive plans, and the Browns' 2026 NFL draft strategy.